Welcome to continuing coverage of the 2022 PDGA Amateur Disc Golf World Championships from Southern Indiana. It's Grant Zellner and Jennifer Allen, and it's round 4. This is the big moving day, Jennifer, when our players are trying to get positioned to make that final round cut and get to play in that last round tomorrow.
Yeah, the courses so far have given the women a variety. We played around a lake, we've played on a golf course, and today we go into the woods. And there is a tie on third place, but we will be having Maria join us today on the lead card.
Getting right into it here at Hubstead Johnson, a wooded course, a shorter course, very, very technical, starting right out the gate here on hole number 1.
Yeah, hole number 1's a par 3. We have 303 feet, and this reminds me of Northwoods.
There are some holes, Jennifer, that are a little bit reminiscent of a short Northwoods in some ways. And like I said, there is no easing into this round.
Yeah, so a slower speed disc off the tee will probably be appropriate to stay in the middle. We have Shiru leading us off. She is currently at 8 down. Lets that go just a little bit early, but hopefully it stays right there. Perfect. Little kick back towards the middle.
Shiru had a great third round that vaulted her into the lead. Now we've got the first of sisters, twins. This is Morgan Lynds out of Florida.
Yeah, and a higher speed disc. She gets a little bit bigger kick. Morgan and Jordan have pretty much opposite throws. Jordan likes to typically throw backhand, and that is a beautiful backhand, keeping it nice and low right down the middle. Morgan throws the forehand predominantly.
Out of Iceland, María, Eldey, Kristínardóttir.
That was very good, Grant.
I did my best, Maria. If you're listening, I did my best.
And that one comes out just a little bit early, which is a very common, I would say, mistake in the woods. You're focusing so much on hitting that gap. So Morgan trying to pitch out to save par. Ooh. And Maria, unfortunately, tries to kind of cut roll that and throws it straight into the ground and hitting the trunk of the tree. I actually think she got pretty lucky. That could have been bad.
Masterful upshot, though, to make up for that early mistake to save a bogey.
Nice little kick towards the basket for Jordan. And Shiru sliding her putter up there as well. So we'll get to see how aggressive these women are in these tight wooded courses.
Opening hole played more than a stroke above par, didn't give up a single birdie on the day, so par is picking up strokes on the field here, and bogey really isn't losing anything.
Hole number 2 is a little more open off of the tee there. Par 3, 245 feet.
Yeah, this one, one of many, we'll call them middle to shorter distanced par 3s. Sort of appropriately distanced, I think, though, when you consider the challenge of these gaps. This one, the fairway definitely narrows down toward the end as the hole continues to wrap further and further around to the left.
So a nice slow hyzer. You don't want to go too stable of a disc to get that to cut into the tree. Shiru is staying just out there. It looks like maybe close to circle edge. That's a beautiful shot by Jordan.
Catches sort of the backside of the fairway there, but we'll have a look at the basket. If you remember from earlier when our FA1 field played this course, some of these shots very, very precise to make it all the way to the basket. Otherwise, just having a look is the goal.
Yeah, Marie's throwing very hard, so I'm curious to see if that is nerves or just her aggressive style. But to hit these gaps in the woods, hopefully she will kind of slow down that arm speed just a little bit. Great approach to save par, though.
Morgan leaning out with a little arm-only flick there. Does a great job of putting that disc within about 15 feet of the basket.
I feel like we're going to see a lot of pitch-ups today, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Shiru not really giving a bid at that either, just pars. I feel like these women are okay with starting out this round.
There are a couple of holes a little bit later in the round that are a little bit more open. So biding your time. Oh, Shiru off the front of the cage there.
So unfortunately, Shiru walks away with the bogey.
Shiru and Jordan now tied at the top. Morgan just one stroke back.
Plastic Addicts is proud to sponsor the coverage of the 2022 PDGA Amateur World Championships. Use code 22AMWorlds to get 10% off store-wide from now until the end of July. Orders over $70 shipped free. Thanks for choosing Plastic Addicts.
Hole number 3, we have another par 3 that's 283 feet. This, Grant, looks like the basket is tucked more to the right.
Yeah, pretty straight approach here. If you're willing to take it, might put you sort of circle's edge out here to the left, or you can try to shape something and see if you can't get right underneath this basket. A little bit more open in terms of probably 2/3 of the circle around the basket. Unless you go long, of course. Jordan teeing first.
Yeah, and this sets up great for her forehand. Few guardian trees slowing down that disc to get inside circle 1.
Morgan nicely shaping that forehand.
Yeah,
Goes a
and
little long, but no problem.
This course, so far in the trees, we have no grass around the basket, and sometimes that takes a little adjustment because most of these courses they've been playing so far are very thick grass. So having to make that adjustment, again, slower speed disc in the woods as well as approaching the basket to not get as much ground play.
Shiru from about 50 feet off the front of the cage. Good effort there with a low ceiling.
Wow, great putt.
Punches that in from circle's edge. Now we see Jordan was a bit closer than I gave her credit for.
Yeah, I couldn't tell how much that really slid up. I knew she was right on the edge of it there.
Morgan lofts that putt in nicely from about 18 to 20 feet.
The good thing is when you play these wooded courses, after a few holes, you kind of get your timing off the tee, the speed of your release, you're precise of hitting the lines. And so hopefully these women are getting settled in and we'll start getting a few more birdies.
Three-way tie at the top.
We're to hole number 4, par 3, 212 feet, so just a little bit shorter than our previous holes, and this one is curving back to the left.
Yeah, it certainly starts here angling over to the left, and then it surprises you right here at the end with a quick jog back and down to a side hill basket placement over here on the right.
Tucked in the shadows. So we're going to see a few more forehands again, trying to shape that first curve. That's a hard line to hit.
That was an A-plus effort right there from Morgan.
Yeah, the slope of the hill, depending on the angle that their forehands are coming in at, might hit and allow that just to roll right down and trickle down to the basket.
Maria a little tight. Now Jordan trying to show us a backhand route.
Yeah, a little late on that release, and she pulls it off to the right side of the rough there. And Shiru getting almost all the way down the fairway.
Maria, without not a lot to work with there, finds a window and is able to shape a shot to land at basket base. Skips a little long.
Yeah, sometimes that's hard when there's such a small gap that you have to punch it out pretty aggressively. And, you know, thinking that you're going to hit a few things to slow down the disc. And then when you hit that line clean, it's like, oh my gosh, that's going by the basket.
Just one or two guardian trees to speak of here in this fairway, but so far Jordan and then Shiru have found them. So long par efforts coming up, starting with that one just off the edge.
Such an ugly kick. That was almost all the way in. Kind of caught the edge of the basket there, pulling it back out. Great par save putt from Shiru.
Looks like Maria's got a gash on her knee there in the background. She got in the woods just a minute ago. Hope that's okay.
Beautiful downhill putt. Morgan's going to walk away with the only birdie on the card.
It's a big-time birdie here at the fourth. Only two birdies on the day in the field. One by Morgan, one by Tina Beach.
That's a great long save. She really took her time and committed to that putt uphill, having to get the height of the disc right so it doesn't just roll back down to her. So with that, two birdies in a row, Morgan steps up to a one-stroke lead. This is still such a tight battle. Hole number 5 is a par 3, 220 feet. Grant, where does this one take us?
Yeah, this one's downhill. One of the first holes in a while where the topography is substantial and certainly noticeable from tee to green. We're going downhill over a bit of a, I guess we'll call it a drainage area. It's certainly not much of a creek and it doesn't play out of bounds. And you can see the pin located just on the other side of it. So landing in that ditch will actually put you on circle's edge.
Yeah, and that's hard to do when you have the height difference between ground. We're going downhill and then back up, and then the low-lying branches. So hitting the accurate height to carry the disc down the fairway is very important. That looks like great height if it'll carry past those trees. Beautiful drive.
Jordan cranks over on that one just a little bit, but gets a great kick, uses the downslope down into that ditch area, so we'll actually have an inside the circle putt.
What a
That's crazy.
Awesome save. She is just punching these things out from everywhere.
Jordan up and in from,
wow.
You can see how far below the level of the basket.
Yeah, that's so hard to do, to keep a long putt, nose up, and the height to make it all the way uphill. Beautiful putt. Shiru doing the same from a shorter, easier distance. That whole, they made that look like it was so easy. That that looked like a difficult hole for sure. This card playing possibly 3 down for the hole has to play pretty well for the overall. I hated to jinx that. Okay, good.
Yeah, you're good.
I know I started a little too soon there. Maria helping me out, saving the par.
Well played there, and our lead card, at least our top 3 on our lead card, extending their lead just a little bit on the rest of the field, trying to get in position.
We are all ready to hole number 6, par 3. This one drastically shorter. We are at just 177 feet.
Double checking my notes here. This may be, if not the only hole, one of the only holes on the entire course playing to a below par average for the field.
Still several trees that they have to negotiate around. It may be short, but that is a very tight gap.
Morgan learns that the hard way off to the right.
Shiru's is following, but she's punched all the way up there. Hopefully she'll still have a look. So nice, slow. Oh, yeah.
Slow disc, but still gets a skip.
Just slow it down just a hair. We'll see if Marie's softer forehand, kind of sliding it up there. Great shot.
Leading edge kind of dug in there for her a little bit. She'll have a circle's edge look. Here's Morgan quickly out of the woods.
And that was a good pitch out. Strong bid.
Up and over. There's Shiru from about 35.
Beautiful putt by Jordan. That is getting her back tied with Shiru.
Long comebacker for Maria goes off the wayside. That'll be a bogey.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. She had a good, strong bid, but unfortunately did not catch any of the basket, so that comeback putt was very long.
We're in the heart of a little stretch of scoreable holes here at Habstead Johnson. 7, 8, 6, 7, and 8, all scoreable.
Yeah, we're still under 200 feet with this one as well. 185 feet, par 3, hole number 7. Looks pretty downhill. Is that as drastic as it looked?
Yep, it absolutely is. And then again, much like a couple of holes ago, at the very end, we go back uphill to get to the basket.
So keeping the disc nice and low, sliding it right up. Excellent drive by Jordan.
That is a gem.
Her sister going to try to... Oh! Hard to skip it over that big tree stump, but excellent drive by her sister as well.
Well, Shiru yanks that off the tee, needs it to get lucky. Actually, it skips up and through. She'll have maybe a 45-footer or so.
Nice controlled drive by Maria.
Yeah, caught either a rock or a tree stump or something there, and it just stopped dead for her, though. As Shiru, the 50-foot bid. So from just a step or two closer, here's Maria. Also off the basket.
And Morgan and Jordan with some absolutely perfect drives. I'm sure the women were glad that that guardian tree right there fell down.
Oh, boy. That thing was huge.
That was a very large tree.
Hard to say how long it hasn't been there.
I know. Kind of surprised not to see the basket inside of that stump. You see that
that'd
quite
be fun, sure.
Yeah, you see that quite a bit. Our scores up top staying very tight. And we are heading on to hole number 8, par 3, 262 feet. Again, heavily wooded.
Yep, another hole that plays down and then back up. That's becoming a little bit of a theme. Little bit more distance on this one than we've seen in a few holes. So players going to have to disc up maybe a little bit or just try to find the timing to throw this drive with a little more oomph in order to get up to this basket placed midway up a steep hill.
Jordan hits the line beautifully. Is going to have a nice little downhill putt back at the basket. Morgan carries that just a little too long. Gets down in that dry creek. Oh.
Well, Shiru takes first available tree and straight off to the right.
Yeah, takes a very ugly kick.
Maria does manage to miss clipping the building there, but also will be lucky to save par from there. Shiru, this is beautiful.
And that came out way better than it looked off that initial kick. She must got a second kick and punched through some stuff. That was a lucky placement.
Maria making me look bad too. I said it'd be hard to save par from there. She's making it look easy.
Yeah, those approaches by the women are just dead on. Oh, that's so hard to punch around just that little, the hyzer around a small tree like that. To me, I don't like that putt either. It's hard to get the right height and angle to get into the middle of the basket there.
Hard to get a disc to curve when there's not a certain amount of speed behind it too.
Yeah, and going downhill, she had to keep that a lot slower.
Yeah. Yeah, when you throw a disc really slowly, it's not much more than a weight that you're just sort of pitching through the air. Ace Run Pro bringing us content like this. So if you enjoy content like this, support guys like Ace Run Pro. Patreons starting at $3 a month.
Who doesn't love awesome coverage? Let's be real.
I know.
These guys have always done a great job. Like, subscribe, follow Ace Run Pro. Hole number 9, we've made it through the front 9. This is our last par 3, a little bit longer, 318 feet.
Yeah, I believe this is the first hole since hole number 1 that's been 300 feet or longer. And this is a very, very, very challenging hole. Ups and downs throughout the fairway. And finally, an uphill finish. Takes a lot of effort to get the disc up into this circle area.
Yeah, just focus on the sunlight, right? Just go to the light. Trying to get through the trees here and punch back out of the woods.
Morgan makes it. Oh, no, that was Jordan. Excuse me. Makes it to the bottom of the hill there. Here's Morgan.
We're allowed 1 switch per round.
Shiru trying to go with the Annie.
Seeing that streamer there to the right, but that is not OB, just the Mando, correct?
Actually, I do think that's walling off from hole number 8. It was OB for hole number 8. Difficult to come into play, though. The Mando making it. Yeah, to your point, the Mando makes it pretty irrelevant here for hole number 9.
Great pitch outs. Oh, strong bid. We want it to sit down. There you go.
This card content with pars and even bogeys here on the 9th. Not a single birdie given up during the day. A hole playing to more than a stroke above par average for the field. Difficult ending to the front 9.
So we had Morgan and Jordan tapping in their pars. Maria and Shiru unfortunately carded the bogey to finish out our front 9, which brings Morgan with a 1-stroke lead over her sister.
Yeah, Morgan and Jordan, the only 2 on the card under par thus far here in the 4th round. These players competing to make the cut and be one of 20 or so out of a field of about 73 to make that final round here at the 2022 PDGA Amateur Disc Golf World Championships. Jennifer and I will be back shortly with back 9 coverage of this 4th round, so stay tuned to the PDGA on YouTube and all other social channels. We'll make sure to bring you the rest of this coverage from the 2022 PDGA Amateur Disc Golf World Championships.